Hi, everyone. Welcome to the summer class of Anatomy and Physiology, Biology 24 at Merit. Welcome you all, and thank you for taking this class. It's going to be a quick class. It's going to be a bunch of work, but you're going to learn a lot of stuff and a lot of good things about your body, and it will be fun. Let me just briefly go right into the canvas shell that we've created. So what you can see here is a home page, the front page, and in there you can go into the course material, you can go read the syllabus. You even have a Zoom session room where you can do some study groups if you want. Actually, this is the Zoom room here. This is just the first Zoom session. We'll meet Zoom on Monday from 10 to 11-ish or 10:30-ish, depending how long it goes. The Zooms are not mandatory, but of course they're welcome to be there and you can ask questions. I do record them and post them as soon as I can on YouTube, and then I ship over a link so you can watch it if you weren't able to make it. And I'm also here for other times if you have questions, and so just send me a text or send me a pronto. My texting number is 510-387-2946. That's the easiest way to reach me, or through Pronto. The other one you can do is the internal Canvas emails, but sometimes those are a little bit harder to catch. Take me a couple days. If you need to get them to me quickly, give me a Pronto, or send me a Pronto or send me a text. That's the best. And then I have here a link to the study tools, which is also a part of the exercises that you do. So you'll get into that in the first week. From there, we could go right into the modules, and the modules are where the class is organized. So you can go through this click here or on the top here where it says modules. And then here you get a few modules that show up. Now, this is a 5-week class, so it's very, it goes quite expediently. And I organized the modules into weeks. The first couple, though, however, are sort of one about learning tools, how to study, help you study. There's some merit help with studies. There's a links over there, and then recommended textbooks. I did write this my own material for this class. It's been a progress, I don't know, about 10, 15 years at this point where I've been working on it. So the physical text booklets help a lot of us with integrating the information, with being able to take notes, et cetera, et cetera. It's a good medium. It's a visual medium. Anatomy is a picture book thing. You know, what is this called? What is that called? And so with the picture booklets that I've created, you have a good handle on that. And so a lot of people like it. I do sell them, but again, they're not mandatory. Everything you do need to know is also on the course in here. But they are a very good addition. I do have them next time. I'll be there on Tuesday, usually Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. You just shoot me a text and we can make arrangements for you to get them if you'd like them. They've been very valuable. Students use them to get into MCAT, to get to the MCAT or massage school or nursing school, et cetera, et cetera. So they're very widely utilized. But anyway, so much for that. The second module, they call these chapters sort of things modules. The second module is a class orientation. You're going to meet me a little more. We can read on that, how to contact me. I already mentioned that, how you talk to me. We like diversity. Of course we do. We like you to help me with improving the course. Those are little blurbs that talk about that. The syllabus goes a little bit deeper into what is the class about. Also about in here, there's a bunch of stuff. You click on this, you click on these things, and then different tabs show up. I had to learn some coding for that. Kind of interesting, complicated. I'm glad I'm not a coder. But some people love that. I work on muscles and on bones, so that's what I like as a chiropractor. But look at this. It's a 6-week course. We basically have 5 weeks, and then the last is sort of the testing week. We are pretty strongly go through the stuff. We start right with anatomy, with some chemistry. You know, chemistry is like what we need to know for the body. It's not like more than that. So don't be too worried about that. And we go into cells, tissues, start with bone, muscles. We go to the heart, the immune system, the hormones, the skin. Then we spend a whole week on neurology, and then we finish up with the breathing stuff, the lungs. digestion, the kidneys, the urinary, and then the reproductive stuff. And we also have a little bit of time on basics on nutrition and embryology. We have 3 exams that we do. We do an exam sort of already in sort of the second week. We could talk about making that 2.5 week. We can extend that a little bit. That sort of, you know, I want to make sure I also accommodate you, but I'll keep you on target that you go get through it, because once the course is finished, then we kind of have to finish everything. So we can play around with these dates a little, but the 7/21 date, that's a pretty hard date that we have to unfortunately finish the course. We have a test that is multiple choice true false. That's on the first week's topic, and then we have a test that's about the muscles and the bones, and at the end we have a test that's about the rest of the material. There's very good study guides. I'll show you. There is also, these are open book tests. I give you plenty of time, 2-3 hours to do them. So don't feel too overwhelmed by them. I'm here to help you. It's just, I got to do some tests. That's just part of the life. Anyway, so that's a part of the syllabus. And then the rest of here is just how to use Studio. Studio is the recording, video recording. You can give me certain things on video recordings. Now, it's a summer class, so we don't have too many discussions, but discussions don't have to be typed. They can also videoed. And here you can learn how to do that. So that's just sort of an orientation here. And then we dive right into the material. Every week is structured the same way. It starts with a Zoom part, which right now there's nothing there. I mean, there's a text, but once I do the Zoom, I will post a link right here and a video. So the next day you can go in and review that video. So that's the Zoom, and see, then you can either go back to modules over here, or you can click next to get to the next page. And then every week has an objectives week. So what will you learn? What are the assignments? This is sort of for you as an overview, just to flash through it. It's not mandatory to read that, but it gives you an idea. What are we doing this week? And what are we covering? And then after that, we really kind of start with the learning process. And the learning process has these, you know, these are videos basically. And the videos are embedded here. They're also, you can take them through the booklet. I also have them on YouTube in a playlist. If you want that link, that's fine. That way you can work this stuff outside. You don't have to sit at home if you don't want to. And you can work it wherever you want. Actually, Canvas has a really good application for the phones. And so make sure you use that too if you're a person that likes to be on the go and find different environments to study. So we have 2 sets of videos that I've done with everything. One set is a PowerPoint lecture and a voiceover, they call that, where I sit on the computer and I talk to the computer or to you that way, but I'm not in front of a class. And then I have a second set of videos that goes straight into the classroom. I've taken these videos before we went into the pandemic. And so I've made all the lessons are in-class lectures as well as voiceovers. Then there is some tips. Talk a lot about flashcards. You'll have an exercise about flashcards because I think that material is very well learned with flashcards. And then I have a section, each of those chapters were with I have bullet points that explain the material. Some places has embedded videos from the outside. These are sources that I just found, or students told me that they like this. And so I look at them and if I like them too, I embed them. So it gives me more data. You don't have to watch all of these things. That is just for you to have an enrichment of the content. But what I think is very important are these bullet points and pictures that come with it. You know, if you want to make your own little text booklet or so, and you want that, you just screenshot and make a Word document, something like that. That's certainly doable, I think. If you need more help doing that, let me know. We'll definitely try to help you out with that. All right, so that's the lecture part. So these are these video things. And then after learning, we go applying. And each chapter has questions laid behind it. And these questions are sort of a quiz format when we start here. Look, and I even have videos in there that solve those quizzes. So if you don't understand it, or it's too much, and you're like, you just watch that video and it solves the quiz for you. Now, of course, that could be like, well, that's just kind of lazy, and I don't have to study much. But believe me, once you've watched these videos multiple times, you will learn the material that way as well. So this is also, you get, you learn anatomy, physiology, you learn about your own body. Taking the quiz down here, you could take a quiz, and it's just basically showing up with questions one after the other. And these questions work the material. They work through the material that we've listened to on the videos. That's in the booklets. That's also on the on the bullet points. And you can take those quizzes over and over. You don't have to, they're not timed, you can take them multiple times and the highest score will count. So in many ways, this is a meat of the class, but it's busy work. You can you can marinate the material in your head that way and learn from it that way. All right, so that's that. When I go to additional information, the grading here is automatic. That's in the background. But I do have a late work penalty that I give people because everything has a due date, and the penalty is 1% each day, a maximum of 10%. So if you're 10 days late, your maximum score would be a 90. That's still an A. And believe me, if push comes to shove, we work on those, and we're not going to be worried. You talk to me if you are late with something. You talk to me. You reach out. You tell me what's going on. I'm very flexible with helping you through it. I do have these penalties here because that way most students will do the work on time, which is kind of, at the end of the day, the preferred way, because then we don't fall behind. You got to be very careful in this short semester to not fall behind. So the sooner you can get started, the better. Then the first week, I think it's in the first week only, we do have some discussions. Oh no, this is a discussion actually on the study tools, where I want you to go through learning a little bit about flashcards. I have a very elaborate flashcard system that I think works great. I want you to spend a little bit of time on that in the beginning, just to, figure out how am I going to work this material. If you've already done a lot of studying, that's no problem. I'm sure if you're new to studying again, it could be helpful to talk about study methods and so forth. And again, if you have questions, suggestions also, reach out, talk to me. Then we also have, in the first few chapters, we have these discussions. We have concept discussions, and we have different questions that here they are. See, they have a few questions that I really want you to understand and work deeply and get the concept of, and I do those in the discussion forum, meaning you answer those questions and you explain them, and then once you post, you can then see everybody else's, what they've written down. So you do, you reply and then you write down, or you take a video. You can take a video too. And then what you do is you engage with other students, and you read some other students' discussion forums, answers, and you're like, wow, I didn't think of it that way. That's an interesting perspective. Or maybe you have no clue what something is, and you say, I really don't grasp that. And I'm not going to judge you on that, by the way. And then somebody help me? And then somebody can reach out and say like, yeah, I understood this. Or once you read a few of the other people's answers, you go like, oh, that makes more sense now. And then you respond back to them and say like, thank you, that really helped me out. And so that way, even in a 5 weeks course, we have a little bit of a community that we're building. That's that. So we have these video listening, answering questions, discussing a few things, and then we also have labeling exercises. And in the first week, it's just one of them. Afterwards, they become kind of a bigger deal. So labeling exercises are, well, this is actually the first one. So this is, well, I can use it to explain it anyway. So these are sheets of paper that you have to fill out. Most of them are labeling and coloring and answering some questions. So I'll go into one that shows like that. The first week is a little, it's just one of them, and you label these things here and you answer these, but it's it's not coloring stuff. And what's interesting is here you can with these laboratory exercises, these are the lab exercises, you can either print out the picture, you can go to a link here and print out the picture, and then fill it out by hand and take a picture and upload it, or you can make flashcards. You can draw it. You can draw the whole thing yourself, make a flashcard out of it, take a picture of that, upload it. I'm open for that, no problem. Or you can also go right into the software and annotate in here and then upload that. So you don't even have to be doing paper stuff. You can go straight through the electronics. So that's kind of cool, I think. Let me show you one that's in week. Here, these are big ones. The weak muscle bones ones are much more elaborate. So for example, here the axial skeleton, that's the trunk stuff, the trunk skeleton. Here you have labeling and coloring. And look at that here, I'm really still kind of younger. And I have a tie. I don't think I even have this one anymore. But I have videos that explain all the terms, because now here with skeleton, a lot of anatomy is naming things. So I make term lists that are words that I want you to label on, here we go, on a sheet of these, on pictures that I created. And so here you label the terms on this picture that I've posted here. And you also answer some questions. And what I want you to do, then I want you to color. So let's say this is a vertebra here. This piece here is called the spinous process. I want you to have a line, say spinous process, and then color that with a color. And all that does is gives us a little bit more time to marinate that term in the head and say like, oh, that's that. Okay, and next time we remember it better. So that's what is meant by labeling and coloring. Again, I have videos to everything of those things. And that's it for that, I think. Let me make sure. Yeah, discussions, label coloring, and then questionnaires. That's pretty much the meat of the potato. At every end of the week, I also have a questions and tips, which is also, I want you to do that. And this is a Padlet. I don't know if you know Padlets. Here's a Padlet. You can press this button, and then you can write something, and you write something, and then it posts it up. And everybody can see it, and we can then feed back and talk to each other. And here I want to have take some time to reflect what concept is still unclear to you. Write that down. I read these a lot and I answer these a lot. And so that's a way that we can talk back and forth and say like, hey, let me explain this to you a little bit more. Or if it's a bigger deal, I say, hey, why don't we meet on Zoom and explain that, maybe make the video even and post it so everybody get to hear it in case, most of the time people have similar questions. And so, or also tell the class something that really helped you and worked for you, or you had a win situation going on, you liked something, post that here. We do that once a week at the end of the week. And so that's sort of a feedback tool for me to understand where the class is at, but also for you guys as well to have more clarity of things that are unclear. Good. That's basically how the weeks work. And then I have these tests. And every test has a review first. And the test review is here. He says, look, 55 true, false, multiple choice questions. You have 2 hours for it. Good luck. This is also written in the test stem. But what's really important is I have test reviews. So everything that will be on the test is on these sheets of papers or on these tabs. So we have an introduction chapter tab, we have a chemistry chapter tab, a cytology, which is cell, and then a tissue chapter tab. And everything you need to know for the test is on these pieces of paper and or on these tabs. And it's an open book test. So you can print this. What I would do is look at here. I have a PDF version. I click on that. I go right into I can't do that right now, but that basically gives you a format where you can print it out on the printer. I think I'll probably also have it on Dropbox in case you need it. Ship me a text and I will send you over a link if the Word document don't open, which it should. Usually Word is actually easier. And so that's how I do it. So you work the material, and then in one place I have everything that you need to know for these tests, and you can print that out and use it as reference. And what's important for you is to organize the material. And that way, by the way, you can also use it after the class, and it's just not all gone again, and you have a grade, but you don't remember half the stuff anymore. But now you can look it up. So that's good. So that's the first test. I have that for. The second test is a little bit more elaborate because it's a fill in the blank test, and so the review has a list of all the terms that we've done. So I gotta just go in here anyway. I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what's up. Yes, okay, there we go. Maybe it opens. Maybe I'm lucky. Come on. Come on. Look at all that stuff. Ooh. There's a lot of work to organize all that. See, there's a list here. You can print this out, have it next to you for that test. Any term that I ask you is on that list. It's not outside of that list. There's many, many more anatomy terms. Don't get me wrong, but we focus, and that way you don't have to question like, oh, it's endless. I can't stop thinking about it. I have anxiety over it. There's plenty of anxiety to go around anyway. And so I try to minimize that. And so that's what we do here. These are basically all the lists from within the chapters on those labeling pages that are there. That's the same list. It's just all together on that. So that's that. And then I have also review videos. And I go through all the terms on the, look at there, I'm skinny there. I go through all the terms on the models, because in the classroom, those are the tests where I put the sticker on a model and say like, what's that called? And you have to write it down. And here, what I've done is I've made videos that basically, or pictures that show you the term. I'll show you one, and then you have to write down what is it. Oh no, I can't show you one because it's locked. No, I can. Yeah. Or we do it in Zoom. We do that in Zoom when it gets to that. So that way you're not going to freak out right now. It's not yet. I shouldn't say that. It's all of this is here. If you watch these videos a couple times, you're probably good. You have 2 or 3 hours to take this test. So even if you have to review something while you're taking the test, you probably have enough time for doing so. And then the third thing here is what I've done is I've taken pictures of models, and I put most of them. This was right when the pandemic began, so it was a little bit harried when I did it. So I might miss a few things, but these are the models I use to take the test. And so this is a skull, and I can have a sticker here and say like, what is this called? And then you say, look it on the list, and go like, ah, that's what that's called. Then you type it down. There's no like honor lock or anything that says, oh, look, they look down, they might be cheating. I'm a very bad advocate. I feel we all have to fight those cheating softwares. They're anxiety producing. A year ago, a year and a half ago, I took my own anatomy class, not mine, somebody else's, to just see how they're doing and what's that. And we have the test, and they use this cheating software. And I know this stuff, and it freaked me out just from that. So none of that in here. All right, so that's pretty much it. When we close these off, then you can see we have an overview of the weeks. We have week 2 is bones and muscles. Week 3 is heart, blood vessels, immune system, hormones, and skin. 4, we focus mostly on the nervous system. That's a big chapter, or a few big chapters, very cool stuff. And then we finish up with the rest. And then we have a test. And by the end of July, we are done. And you've learned a lot of new cool stuff. All right, I think that's a pretty okay overview, I think. I hope. If you have any questions, no hesitation, shoot me a text at 510-387-2946, or reach out via Pronto, or send me an email through here. I try to keep an eye on all of them. Have a wonderful time, and I really look forward to meeting you as much on the Zoom person as I can. Take care.